This is an age-old question that I always fucking get from every brand owner ever. How do I create engaging content? I'm going to set up a vibe for you so you could understand what it is to post on socials and why you should be posting on socials a certain way. Your social media accounts, Instagram, TikTok, Substack, whatever the fuck, is your brick and mortar. If that is your brick and mortar, when customers are seeing your content, just like when people window shop, they go buy brick and mortars and see the inside of them, you have to engage them some way, somehow. Brick and mortars engage you with their vibe of their store. The way you engage on socials is very similar, right? But with the brick and mortar, you could come out of there transformed into this ideal version of you when you buy something from them, right? And the people in the brick and mortar really add to the vibe of the brand, right? So when you're on your social accounts and you're posting for fucking nothing to the noise of the algorithm, wasting the water, it's stupid and it's dumb and it's a very barbaric way of using socials, right? But if you post like, this is my brick and mortar, and there's people window shopping as they scroll through the algorithm, I'm going to figure out multiple ways to transform them as they scroll and they stop on mine. How do I transform them to become the version of the customer that I want? That's what you're doing on social media. Engaging content comes from a transformation. And I asked this question on my Instagram account. I said, what is your brand transformation? Yeah, this is fucking crazy. A lot of the brand owners said some crazy shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk about this in a YouTube video just to break it down even further. To anybody who has a product, you should think of it like this. Engaging content is not based on the product you are selling. So when they're window shopping, it's not necessarily about the product that they're selling. It's about the idea that if I go in this store, what do I become? Or who am I? When I post it on my Instagram account, on my Insta story, who am I? Who do I become? When I scroll and like this post and send it to my friend or save it, what does this say about me? Doesn't that all sound like a transformation? How do you transform the customer, right? So when videos go viral on TikTok and stuff and it's funny, that's a transformation. You made them laugh. Ha 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 ha. Great. When a video goes viral because it's informative, you transform them. You gave them a new idea that they're going to take in their life. When somebody's like a motivational speaker, you transform them with your words. What's the transformation that you have? Right? So brands, a lot of clothing brands, they like to think that product over everything. Product is very, very far at the bottom. A lot of founders and people who are venture capitalists, a lot of them like to say, perfect your product. But I've never understood that, because if your product could be the best product in the world, but if you don't understand how to use that product to transform that consumer or transform that content so it could come to the consumer in a way where it makes them new, why are we perfecting the product? Shouldn't we be perfecting the transformation? A lot of brand owners, they want to be the next biggest designer in the world. They want to be the next, the it thing. And that's fine. But I think we have to understand that using social media, posting on social media, is a portfolio. It's your brick and mortar. It's your fucking business card. It's all the above. And I also want to let you know something. I believe, I'm going to say it here first, I believe that brands, if they learn how to post, especially clothing brands, I think clothing brands and accessory brands, if they learn how to post in a way that there's the transformation and people really start to fall in love with the vibe that they give the product, the vibe that they give them, I do think that other brands are going to start sponsoring clothing brands. I do think this is going to become a thing. And clothes have a very big play on what becomes popular after a while. And it's not just the clothes, it's everything that comes with the clothes. So right now, the Abercrombie and Fitch 2000 Hollister aesthetic is super popular. Imagine a lip gloss brand or a notebook brand comes in and they show like a 2000 notebook or 2000s like lip gloss that they're selling. They're going to add that within. Boy Smells has a brat collection right now. Boy Smells is a perfume brand. They have a Bratz collection that they're coming out with, basically sponsored by Bratz. I think clothing brand owners in the future, that's going to be a thing. But you have to position yourself on the internet the right way, right? So how the fuck do we get there? So content for the consumer should show everything they do on a daily basis. I do believe you should show the job, the daily life, in their aesthetic, right? And then the engagement comes in when you are showing the customers their daily interest in, but in a better light, right? So what I mean by a better light, you show the aesthetic times 10 with your brand attached. If your content is only products or random still fashion poses or just random brand noise, expect noisy content, right? And noisy consumers. Like I always tell y'all, creating content is showing the customer this is what you do on a day-to-day basis, but it's better when you have me attached, the brand attached, right? So how do we create this foundation where they understand that there's a transformation going on when you window shop on socials, right? When you like that brand's post, when you do this and do that. How do we show that transformation? Most brands I deal with, and most of y'all who come to me, y'all want to build a movement of some sort or collective or ABCD. But again, when you think about the movements in history or the movements in the 21st century, if you think about the movements in the 21st century, they always cause a transformation to the people involved, right? So if you don't show a transformation in your content or give an aesthetic foundation, your brain's shaky. And that's why when y'all show me y'all content, it's very shaky because you either are fashion posed up or you're super movement based or you're just aesthetic. When it needs to be a combination of transformation and aesthetics. That's what it needs to be. Show the transformation with an aesthetic vibe. Your brand has to decide what visual world proves the consumer has transformed. How can you visually show the transformation? How do you visually show it? Most people who are popular on socials, they give the consumer a transformation. They make them like them. Okay, that's the transformation of being like envious, right? Like you want to be them. Like it's a weird kind of carnal things humans do. That's why people love influencers so much, right? What can you visually show to make the transformation happen? Most people don't understand the transformation. Most people don't even understand why the fuck they should be doing. They don't understand the transformation. They don't understand where their consumer's at. And that's all kind of y'all fault, right? It's y'all's fault because you position your brand more as a product, not as a thing that's going to enter the consumer's life, right? When you make a product, you should be like, this is going to help the consumer's life. And help doesn't mean it's going to, make them skinnier or fitter. Like, not that type of help. A help where it's just like, it's going to push them to be the way that I want them to be, right? So I asked this question, and I really wanted to get to this part, right? I asked, what is your brand transformation? And I really want to get into this, right? So I asked a lot of people, what is your brand transformation? Someone said entrepreneurship. Someone said linen good job by day and denim nightclub by night. High fashion, cool, creative person that likes quality items and elevated outfits. A lot of y'all probably could relate to that one. To tell the stories that last longer than we do. A company that engages through versatility. That sounds like a lot of buzzwords. So none of these are a transformation. None of these are a transformation. Not one of them. A transformation is before they were one way and after they become new. That is a transformation. That's literally the meaning of a transformation, right? You are transforming something to become a certain way, right? So how does a brand build a transformation? The only way that you're going to understand your brand transformation is that you know what the fuck your customer was before. A lot of y'all build customers like they already are perfect and they already have the best everything and they don't need you. That's the fucking problem. Why are you building a customer that is perfect? You build a customer that fucking needs your brand. So how do they need my brand? I don't give a fuck if you're luxury, avant-garde, dumbass streetwear, whatever the fuck you are. Your customer has to be a certain way, and you give them status, label, information to transform them into a better way. So here's the equation for you to go out and try to fucking figure out. What is your consumer missing? And what in the middle is the transformation. So what can you give them in the same context of an idea? Thinking, right? Idea thinking. What can you make them think that transforms them into a better customer with your brand? What can you make? How can you make their status better that transforms them into a better customer for your brand? What can you make that consumer believe that makes them a better customer for your brand? Stop building perfect consumers. Stop making clothes for the perfect consumer. The consumer is not perfect yet until they have their hands on your piece. Are we understanding? Are we understanding that? Are we getting that? That's why I tell y'all, and I have a whole video about this. I'll put it in the description below. I tell y'all to market y'all brands like they market brands to girls and to women. Women are not whole unless they have the Louboutin. Their life, they're not a woman until they have a pair of So Kate Louboutins. Do you understand that? Right? It's a certain type of woman like that. You're not fully a woman, a rich, wealthy, well-off woman until you have the Birkin. Right now, you're not really that girl until you have the Lulu or the Aloe on. Do you understand how these brands are giving them a new person to be? It seems like something so simple, but this is a problem with your content. There's no transformation being done. And then within your content, that idea, that status, all that is the content that you show. Your content does not have to be the fashion post, fuck ass, fuck off, no noisy content. Your content can be extremely off the clothing brand fucking line. You don't even have to show the fucking clothes. A lot of people think because I have a clothing brand, I have to only post clothing brand content and post photos of fucking lookbook style content. If you think you have to do that in 2025, I'm actually astonished by your thinking skills. Thinking. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Thinking is a skill. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that thinking is a skill? Most people don't know how to do it. So, use your brain right now and take yourself out of the mindset that all of my brick and mortar socials have to be me posing or saying, hey, buy this, I just made this, I just bought this, get this, get this. No, it could be off the fucking line. Go outside the box. Create something that is going to inform them, change their status, or make them believe something insane. Those are the three things that you have to do, right? If you could understand how to push that transformation, you're going to get engagement. That's what we're doing in Brand Therapy with Day right now. One of the brand owners that I am working with, we made his content where, I'm not going to be honest with you, it has nothing to necessarily do with showing his product, right? It's the teacher and student relationship that we're building with their consumers. And he was just like, oh my gosh, the engagement is up so much right now. And I'm just like, yeah, it's going to keep going up, right? All you have to do is figure out the transformation. What are you transforming them to? If you understand this, you understand engagement. Engagement is the transformation. For example, when y'all watch me, I'm giving you an idea and I want y'all to go execute it. Sometimes people who execute it, they get results and they come back to me like, oh my gosh, you helped me so much. That's the transformation, right? That's the transformation, right? So sit there, figure out what the fuck your transformation is, come back to me and see what happens. See how the shit works out. Or I could do it for you. Or you can let me do it for you. Honestly, all you have to do is build that. That's where that engagement comes in. Stop thinking you have to do a lookbook. You do not have to do a lookbook. Be different. Try something else. Just because all the fucking brand owners and people before you did it the lookbook way, try something different. Your online brick and mortar does not have to be a lookbook. It could literally be a fucking library. Be fucking obnoxious online and different so the transformation could come off like that. They're going to buy from you because you gave them something that was transformative. I hope you guys like this video. Transform the consumer, okay?